Good evening and welcome to Speaker Club Saturday night number 89. We are inching towards the nervous 90s. And just before we enter that, let's take a moment for today to applaud each one of us for having been consistent, having been joining and being a part of this community and making this community what it is today. So I would request each one of you all to unmute yourself and applaud for yourself and for everyone in this group for being a part of this community and joining today as well. Can you just unmute and applaud for yourself? Thank you. Now let me ask you the question. How did you feel when you were applauded for?
Surely happy.
Fine.
Satisfied.
Fine. Satisfied. Happy.
Motivated.
Motivated. Rabia, you're not clear.
On cloud 9.
On cloud 9. I'll have to invent the clouds after that also then. The reason why I asked is we are surrounded in this world that is full of critics, that is full of an environment which is toxic and constantly in a negative frame. And yet, what do we do? If I were to ask you, for what we just did now, how you felt, when was the last time you felt applauded? When was the last time you applauded someone? While each one of us desire to be applauded, to be appreciated, to be clapped, to be patted on our back, ask yourself, what's the missing link when what we desire is something that we don't do for ourselves, for the people around us? With that question, I began the preparation for this session with this beautiful quote from Mother Teresa. It said, "There is more hunger for love and appreciation in the world than for the bread." While each one of us longs for the applaud, feeling appreciated, expressing or being applauded for who we are or what we have done or what we have accomplished or whatever happens, we long for the appreciation, at least for the things where we feel we have done something, we have accomplished something, let alone for what you're doing on a daily basis. I'm talking of at least being applauded for the times when you have done something well. And yet, we have the missing link of not finding the clap ringing in our ears for whenever we have done something good. I've always believed that for every setup of where you initiate an action, you do something and then you have the consequence of it. There's a 3-tier model in which everything that we do works. And the way we build on things is the response to what happens to the consequence is very critical to this activity, the initiation, the action, and the consequence to be repeated. It is the result of what happens after the consequence that makes it very critical for us to do things. What was the last thing that you applauded someone for? Anyone can just unmute and speak. What was the last thing that you thanked someone for, that you told someone that you did this well? What was that last one thing which you
said the results and they passed with good marks, then I applauded them.
You then applauded after getting the marks. Interesting. Who else? Mohan.
Yes, sir. Actually, it happened yesterday only. One of my, teammates, he joined as a management trainee in my team 2 months back. And actually, he had put in a lot of efforts and he got some business closures, which was like very, surprising for me. So I actually applauded him.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Who else? Uma ma'am.
Yeah, just
and I'm not talking of limiting to professional work or school or exams. I'm talking of any facet where you have applauded someone. Go ahead, ma'am.
Just half an hour back, I conducted a table topic session in Toastmasters. So there were a lot of new speakers and who were hesitating to speak, but they made an attempt. So I congratulated them on speaking and having tried. And later, the president told that the topics that I gave were good, and he thanked me, and I acknowledged it.
Interesting. Thank you, Mama, for that point. Vijaya, go ahead. तुम इतना क्यों
मैं हंसती रहती हूँ. 5 minutes before.
बोलो.
5 minutes before to my husband.
अब क्या कर दिया उन्होंने?
नहीं क्या कर दिया, अच्छा कर दिया वो. He is supporting every time ना.
Okay, go ahead.
So that's why every day I made this habit that I want to thank you. Most of the times we are not thanking our near ones only. So I started thanking my daughter. I started thanking my husband that they are helping me. They are helping me in my work, in day-to-day life. And for the attending this session also, he is saying, go, your alarm is ringing and you go. So I thank him. Thank you for that. So I thank you,
Vijaya. I'm reminded of DDLJ, Ja Simran Ja, Ji Le Apni Zindagi. Sri Krishna, go ahead.
So it is for my college friend. He completed CA just 2-3 days back. So I applauded him for that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Dinesha, go ahead, quick.
There are two incidents. One on daily basis for my son. This kind of blocks he will come up with different buildings, different structure he will prepare every day, innovatively. Every day come and show me, I'll appreciate him so that he will come up in a different way every time. Every day I do that. A second one is my colleague. I told him before hiring, during the interview itself, I told I am looking for a person who will take complete ownership. It is not a employee kind of job. It is like your own entrepreneurship. The next day itself, he started owning entire of Tamil Nadu. He's looking after. He come up with own initiative. Yesterday, he did very good job. I appreciated him.
Interesting. Madhu, last one for now.
Yeah, a few minutes before I got a call from my college friend. Actually, she not really intention to call me. By mistake, her kid, he said, by mistakenly he called, and she can send a message, but again she called me, but that time I was in another call, so no, I'm not able to pick. But after that again she called, so again still I'm in the call. So later, after once I connected, when I called, she was busy. So again, after 5 minutes, again I attempted. Luckily, that time we got connected. Then she said, mistakenly it's happened, but again I tried. So I felt like happy. It's a mistake, but you tried once. Again, is second time you tried. So I'm very happy. Just at least we have some good interaction and all this thing. She also felt happy, and we talked a little bit about our families and what things are going on. So I mean, anyone can say simple message, mistake happen or something like that, or else one times they can call and leave it. Yeah, in that way, just I appreciated her, and I also felt happy.
Interesting.
Sir, if you don't mind, I need one more chance, please.
Go ahead, Mohan.
Actually, today even I applauded Rahul sir, his Instagram post by just clicking that like button where he sang one wonderful song. Yes.
Yeah, actually, I also want to comment on that. Once Mohan completed, I will.
Yes, sir. I just want to mention that.
No, I didn't know you sing such a nicely song, and that too, see, I know he's a very good speaker and giving a speech, but for that he's using a song. Oh my God! And even that's really amazing the way he sings.
Madhu, you have joined us late. We have had sessions where we talked about beyond entertainment, where each one of us in this room, we have sung, we have danced, we have shown talents. It's been a hell of a journey that we have had. Hopefully, let's see how we can start having a repeat of a few interesting sessions that we have had. Might be that's a plan that I have for the nervous 90s of the Speaker Club. So thank you, Madhu. Thank you, Mohan, for adding those points. The reason why I asked that is, when I asked you to recollect those instances where you applauded someone, how difficult was it to think of when was it last time that you did something? Some of you all said 5 minutes back. Some of you all were wondering about the last instance. That is the reason why we are having this session today. And when you're talking of the scope of this session, it's not limited to a corporate job or your personal relationships alone. It's in whatever interactions that you have with humans in any form, and it can be other beings as well. The idea is that we have an opportunity to uplift someone, to applaud someone every moment. As we progress in this session, I'll be talking about why you need to applaud, how you need to applaud, when you need to applaud. Basically answering the WH questions, wherein we understand and build a structure through which we understand the art of appreciation is not limited to, but in multiple forms of what we can do and we should be doing for the good of all of us equally. So as much as I'm talking of you loving the idea of being applauded, it begins with you passing on the idea of applause to others. That is where you build the idea of karma, that what you're giving in, what you're sharing, or what you're putting into the world will eventually come back to you. That's the idea for today's session. So on this first model of where instances where you're applauded, let me all ask you, there will be always instances also where someone did something, they did what was expected out of them, and the result of which, one very common, I'm not saying you have a habit of criticizing or being negative. That is the other extreme where you know someone can judge that I've done something wrong, this is good, or this is some reaction which is coming based on negativity or something. I can judge when someone speaks. But the problem is, a large part of our response is silence. Silence to everything that is happening. When I told you about this model of initiative, action, and consequence, as a part of the consequence that you're seeing, how often is it that you are silent? Knowingly or unknowingly, you are missing out on the opportunity of you appraising someone, of you applauding someone. And every time you do not speak, you are killing the initiative, you are killing the action. So it doesn't have to be that someone has to be a critique to discourage someone. Your silence is equally harmful as much as a critique will be. So remember, you have a weapon. You have a weapon of expression. But when you keep that weapon locked up and silent, you are missing out on the opportunity, which is to uplift someone. For whatever you have done, the instances which each one of you all have shared right now, you're talking of your husband, you're talking of your students, you're talking of your employee, you're talking of different people that you have talked, each one of you all, ask yourself, how many times has it been that something which was delivered, which was expected or normal, was responded with a silence? And I'm not limiting to big events. I'm not limiting to someone clearing a CA exam, or I'm not talking of some final exams happening and students getting their marks. I'm talking of daily moments, day in and day out. There's so many instances which happen around us for which we are silent. While you reflect on that, let's get going with the detail, the art of appreciation, which is where I titled the program as Clap Clap, but it is not literally only about clapping, but about the different forms in which you can make or break someone with your expression. So let's get going. The first question that I want to ask each one of you all, why do you need to clap? What difference does it make? You could be talking from your experience, your story, somewhere, your experience, your situation where someone clapped or someone didn't clap. Why do you think we need to clap? Please note, While I'm mentioning clap, it's not limited to the literal action. I'm talking of expression. Go ahead. Madhu, go ahead.
It gives me.
After Madhu, Rabia.
So, in my personal experience, even from my childhood, whoever I have met, from my friends
May
or
I?
college mates.
One second. I'm sorry. I think Rabia, there's been a connection challenge. Yeah, Madhu, go ahead.
Yeah. So, as I remember, even I have a good moments with people, with my colleagues or friends or or managers or where I work. But always I remember their appreciations and always motivated me many times. If I ask her, okay, about that person, how do you know? Okay, he said you're good, you're doing good. Whatever he appreciated, always those motivated me and given me some happiness to work more on that field or whatever I done. Oh no, you're explaining such a nice. That's also big compliment for me. And I don't know how you're doing every time. That's also compliment for me. Like that, every person, whenever they're appreciating, I felt happy, and indirectly that motivated me to do more, or my day makes me happy. Then I started doing the same thing to others. Even the small things, I started doing the same thing. Some people said, why are always you are appreciating? That's not required, right? That is my job to do. No, I felt like saying it. And many times also in charts, also in official, I said thank you, thank you. So why sir always we say thank you and all those things? But that's make I feel happy if I say thank you to you. So I feel like what I felt, same thing will give this to others also. So I started, even as you mentioned, in my day, never, any day, definitely I'll get appreciation or I give appreciation. Without that, my day never ends. That's damn sure I can say every day. So I think that makes me my to go. Yeah.
Thank you, Madhu. Who else? Why do you think we need to be appreciating? Who else?
May I?
Go ahead, Rabia.
Yeah, according to me only, not it's in general perspective. If you have to think over, appreciation is related to a kind of recognition of the work what you have done for. Like it gives a kind of encouragement for the person to whom you are going to give an appreciation, and it gives a kind of energy. Okay, a person feels enthusiastic, a person feel like doing more than before. And though it is a simple word, just by saying wow, you have done a great job, that itself fulfill all the things, and it takes all the tiresome journey of what we had gone through and whatever we have put in efforts for, it's all like feel like we are rewarded for. So it's really helpful. It means boost our energy, it help us to do more, and it is something, a kind of recognition, I can say, the work which we have done for. So it is a must, and everybody expect it in a smaller way or a bigger way, whatever we are achievements. But a pat at the back of our means back, we can say a patting, or as just a smile, and wow, we have done it. This kind of gestures, non-verbal communication, also you can say. And as we start our session, I can see the smile on your face gives us energy. So it is also like an applause, we can say. We all feel whatever problems we are facing with, we just forget when we enter this room. Thank you.
Thank you, Rabia. Lakshmi, go ahead.
Yeah, whenever we feel down, so in that time we'll feel, whenever the appreciation is there, that we'll feel okay, we got appreciated. So we have to do like that. As well as we are doing to our team, right? Once we are appreciating them, they will feel okay, someone is notifying, or else nowadays what is happening, right? I'm doing my work, I'm not getting appreciated. This is actually that corporate well. What I felt actually, there are a lot of things missing. We are doing much work, we are over, actually overtime we are doing, no one is seeing actually. So whenever we are appreciating, they feel happy, as well as they will do, we can, how we can say, we can get it done a lot of work.
Interesting. Dinesha, thank you, Lakshmi. And just let's make it a little quick so that we can move forward. Yeah, Dinesha, go ahead.
Sir, why do we need appreciation? The appreciation will not come if you are not understood the topic or the person. Then only appreciation will come. To give that, to learn that, if you put that energy, then only that application can happen. Then only we can able to understand the situation and the person. then we can say that person is a family member. I'll give you one example. Your the living life and my connectivity. When we connected, that is the reason I have taken this today topic in my status, WhatsApp status. That means that is my space. I have taken the overall this program into my space. That is the reason the clap or appreciation came there. That what I'm saying, that understanding has to be there. Then only that clap or appreciation will come. When we involve completely.
Interesting perspective, Dinesha. Thank you, Mohan.
Yeah. So as everybody mentioned about, obviously, it will make the other person very happy as you are recognizing his efforts. On the flip side, if you're applauding somebody, that gives a kind of satisfaction to you. So because you're recognizing somebody's efforts and, you're just going forward and appreciating him, that will make you happy. And as a being, as a human being, that will kind of make you, a better person. So that is one thing. Yeah, thank you.
Interesting. Thank you, Mohan, for that. And wonderful point in the chat, ma'am. Even Swiggy asked for rating. What about why not applaud them? Now the perspective here, which I want to share, why do we need to applaud? The simple fact is it motivates, like each one of you has already mentioned, it motivates and reiterates that you are doing good. And that is what inspires someone to do it more often, to do it again, to improve. That's one perspective which everyone has already mentioned. But the other important perspective is we need to motivate, or we need to applaud. Again, here applaud is a generic word, but we need to recognize something which has been done to acknowledge that this is accepted. Don't just look at it as motivation. When we always think that we have to applaud to motivate someone, you're just talking of one element. But the other element is also when you recognize someone for whatever the basic thing which has been done, it acts as a reinforcement that this is something which is acceptable. When you miss out on a chance to acknowledge, here recognition becomes an acknowledgement that this is done well. When you miss out on that chance, you are missing out on telling someone who's done a normal work, who's done something normal, regular day-to-day work, like something like Vijay is cooking food, or Dinesha is going to office, or anyone else is doing some specific work which is a part of your regular thing. You reach at 9 o'clock to office. Your boss says, wonderful, happy to see you before me. It's not a recognition as such, but yet it acts as an acknowledgement that you are doing something well and that you are seen, that I have seen this. But if you don't say anything like that, and you see someone coming at 9:10, someone coming at 9:15, and nothing is being said, what happens? Coming at 9:20 or 9:15 is normal. When you miss out on applauding what has been delivered as expected also, not delight. I'm not asking you to come at 8:30. But when you see someone coming at 9 o'clock also, if you acknowledge that, that becomes like an act of motivation for the person. So remember, it's not just the delight where you're motivating. Even when something has been done for expected, it acknowledges that this is a behavior which is acceptable and I would like to do it. I would want you to continue that. So I hope you get the difference of rather than just when something is delightful. So when something is beyond expectation, you're recognizing it's not that. You need to recognize to also acknowledge what is being done. That's the other perspective. And the most important reason why a lot of people leave companies, leave relationships, leave a lot of places where they are not even acknowledged. This is a factor. You don't have to criticize someone. You don't have to have a toxic environment where it's negativity always. Equally is important of where there is no acknowledgement or there's no appreciation of your presence is where you're missing out on the chance to make the other person feel important or make the other person feel recognized. This is where a lot of relationships, a lot of marriages are broken because of this thing, because he has to cook. That's her job. Why do I have to say thank you for that? He has to go to office and he has to earn for the family. That's his job. Why do I have to acknowledge that he's doing something for us? He has to go to school. He has to finish his homework on time. He has to do that. Why do I applaud when he's doing his homework? That's his job. Look at how you are observing what is being done and your perception towards that element. Is it normal but not being acknowledged? Or you're waiting for the delight and then waiting to applaud? Look at this in this perspective. The clap session wasn't about you all recognizing when someone is doing something good, applaud that. This session is about finding the need to recognize in everyday moments. Someone will clear CA exam once in a year. Someone will get good marks once in a year. If you hold on to your applause, if you hold on to your clap, until then, you're not sure whether that moment will come or not. So as an example, Rabia as a teacher, while she's talking and interacting with students, they prepare well, they learn well. If you applaud that step, that you're showing interest, that you're responding well now. I like that. How does that work when compared to waiting for the results and then only talking whether they did well or they did not do it? That is what we are talking of, building this attitude of appreciation as a critical element for the entire positivity, and not just positivity, but it also acts to improve the results that you are expecting from people. You say today how the curry was made to your spouse, or you say something or compliment something or recognize something of what is being done on a regular basis for years now. Go and acknowledge that and look at the difference, how it is done tomorrow. Today's dal was very tasty. Enough. Look at the masaledar dal that you'll be getting tomorrow. To your kid, your handwriting is very good. And you're doing it so fast. Look at how well he delivers tomorrow. We are constantly in this process where we are looking for errors to reprimand, to criticize, but not looking at what is being expected to be done and applauding that. We are looking at two extremes. We are constantly finding what is missing, what is wrong, what is to be corrected, and telling about that. Do that. I'm not saying no. We need to improve. We need to be recognized. We need to find where is a missing link. But when you see someone doing something which is expected, why do we not appreciate that? That is a factor which will motivate and acknowledge people to consistently keep doing this and beyond. I hope you're recognizing from your experience of what you have been doing in multiple facets of your life, of where you're missing to acknowledge and recognize the normal. So tonight, I want each one of you to write this down if it's possible, or just keep in mind to appreciate, to applaud the ordinary which is happening in your life. Once you're able to do that, see the magic of the ordinary going to extraordinary because you've applauded the ordinary.
I can just relate one small incident. Just
Go ahead,
happened
Rabia.
to, yeah, just 2 days ago. It so happened I just conducted a sudden test for the students. They were not ready. Just I said, okay, just attempt the test and let's see what happens. It was an online test. They all wrote. They submitted the paper, and then after, when I just have declared the results, They were shocked to see because most of them were below the line. So they all were disheartened and they would just send me all the emojis with the crying faces and all. And I just said that, see, my point of view was just to see how many of you will attempt. And that was my motto. That was nothing besides that. I never wanted you to have 100% results. You have done it. That is the best result I can say. Next time, so on their own, they just said that, yes, ma'am, that is really nice of you to say that way. Now, next time we will prepare. Whenever you're going to take a test, we will show the results. So as what just now you said, the same thing happened. That's very true.
Interesting. Thank you, Rabia. I think Akanksha switched on the video thinking she wants to join your class.
No, but
Akanksha,
like I can agree completely with Rabia ma'am. It's like when the teacher actually appreciates us or acknowledges us for doing something, we get the interest more in that subject. If the teacher scolds or something, automatically we lose interest on that subject. So appreciation does matter a lot to students. So I can completely agree to that.
Thank you, Akanksha. Vijaya, Madhu, and Sri Krishna. Quick, first Vijaya.
Yeah, so actually now I feel I need teachers like Rabia ma'am. Seriously.
Rabia, any openings, please let me know.
Yeah, Akanksha will be the first and even you.
Sri Krishna will leave his job and join school again. Go ahead, Vijaya.
I want to say that I'm having my best friend. So it's around 15 years now. When I joined my Bean, that time I met her in a temple. And she's not just normal looking, not that about cool girl, yeah, aisa kuch nahi thi, normal thi. But what thing I said her, no? I said her that your smile is very good and you are very मतलब क्या बोलेंगे उसको बहुत चुलबुला nature, no? Like that you are. And so many times in 15 years na, we got some misunderstanding, sab hota hai. So at that time na, what she realized only, you told me that okay, that your smile is very good and you are very, I like your nature. मैंने उसको ऐसा बोला था कि I like your nature and your smile is very good and you are अच्छे हो तुम. तो बोले in my whole life nobody said that. So I said that, and every time when we are having any fight or anything, recently she lost her father also, I lost my mother also, and the same thing. Again, she called me only as a friend. So what I realized na, ki that one appreciation gives me a true friend for the long 15 years. So it's not like कोई understanding नहीं था. That's the first or second time I met her only. And by just talking, I said her that what I feel for her. So उसने मुझे बोला कि वो मुझे जब भी whenever we are having some problem ना, I remember that thing only. कि you are very good, you are very good, you are looking good, your nature is good, and उस तरीके से we are having friendship for the long 15 years.
Interesting. Thank you, Vijaya, for that soulful message. I believe that's the power of appreciation. That's the power of words. Look at how here in this instance, a simple appreciation, you have a wonderful smile and you have good nature. How long it sticks to the mind. The same is true for the contrary as well. You are ugly, you are good for nothing, and you're not going to do anything in your life. It's going to stick for a long time. Your silence is going to stick for a long time. You have to make sure what we are choosing to put it across, because that's going to stay for a long time. So be careful in what you're choosing to put across in your environment, in your daily life, in whatever you're doing, because that is going to make an impact. We often underestimate the power of our words. A simple applaud, a simple clap can take a long way and make a break someone in a different way altogether. Madhu, go ahead.
Yeah, when this appreciation or recognition comes, it may not be required in words also. Because I noticed many times in one-to-one communication or group communication or whatever in the virtual, I noticed many times, even Rahul also noticed, whenever they're speaking, even he's in mute, he will nod the head or smile, react to the matter, whatever it is, joke or whatever, it makes to the speaker to know, okay, whatever I'm speaking, they're listening. That's also gives a lot of encouragement to speak more, even one-to-one communication also. So I feel like even that nodding your head or whenever it's a kind of joke, smile, all those things also will encourage. Those are very small, but I think that's also very, very important. And yeah.
Interesting. I'll come to that point on how can we applaud or how can we appreciate people. Thank you, Madhu, for pointing that out. So let me just break this down of when do we need to applaud. First and foremost, the thing that most of us do is when something is beyond our expectations. Something is done which is extraordinary, something is different, something you like, or someone has made you felt loved. That is when you applaud. That's a common thing that you have seen. But that is something which happens once in a while. The next is where we already discussed again, appreciate the ordinary. The day in and day out moments of what is being done is expected and normal to be done. Appreciate them, to acknowledge that this is something that I appreciate, that this is happening. A lot of us take for granted the very idea of what we are blessed with. And that is where, when we do not acknowledge or do not recognize, we have a high likelihood that you're going to lose it out. There was this wonderful story about a husband and a wife, and for years they have been staying together. And the husband has the food and just goes off to sleep, and every day they are happy, not that they're not happy. But one fine day, the wife gets irritated and says that, you don't like my food. You don't like me. The husband says, why do you think so? The wife said, you never told anything about how you liked my food. I've always been fascinated about cooking, and I've tried so many things. I keep experimenting with so many things for you, and I give you, and I never hear any reaction about how I make the food. Start appreciating the ordinary. Now comes the important thing. Start appreciating when someone fails. The one who's winning it, he has a lot of them. The one who is the ordinary has a few, but the one who is failing at things has far more critiques than he would have someone who would be supporting him or looking at the story, the appreciation for the spirit of trying. How many times have you seen someone in your environment failing at things and everyone bombarding them, and have stood up and said, he at least tried? It doesn't have to have an applaud for the failure, but standing up for someone is an applaud. Applaud for the spirit of doing something. Like Rabia mentioned, the students who attempted were to be appreciated because they attempted. A lot of them would skip. Don't look or wait for the results to come, or based on how well someone does a result. The effort which is required to stand up and deliver every time, day in and day out, despite failures many times, is an effort which is to be applauded. You look at a lot of people who are into sales job, who are into businesses, who are into entrepreneurship, who are into different worlds. Every world has these challenges where they don't hit the mark on a daily basis, but they give the 100% effort for it. When they are failing, there's a constant level of depletion of enthusiasm within them, because they're already undergoing a turmoil of what will the world think, what is everyone thinking, I'm not achieving, I'm a failure. At that point, having one person say, I know you have given your best, I know you're trying, is an applaud. Because there you're recognizing someone who's attempting someone. There's this famous story about General Electric. Jack Welch, the CEO of General Electric at that point in time, someone in his company went on to experimenting with a new idea, with a new product, something innovative, and he did that, and he spent lakhs and lakhs of rupees for that idea. And eventually everything was attempted, and finally He failed. He failed, and the person who attempted that feared that he's going to get the pink slip. He's going to be fired soon. But there at the annual event, Jack Welch, the CEO of the company, called him in, and he was under desperate fear that he's going to be shamed and he's going to be losing his job in front of everyone. But there, Jack Welch called him on stage and applauded him for the effort for trying to build the future of the company by doing something new, by trying something. Because without that trial, how would you find what's the next thing for your world? So when you look at someone who's failing and still holding up, or even if they're breaking down, the idea is applaud them. They are the ones who need you the most, to pick them up, to hold on and make them believe again. Because with every failure, we have that depleted level of enthusiasm. They need that. So whosoever, again, make a note of this, of the people whom you have seen around you who are trying constantly. Take a chance. Applaud the spirit that they're still standing up and delivering every single day. Don't wait for that one day when they'll be successful and then you'll say, he's my friend. For him to say, you are their friend,
I can't move, you know.
be the applaud for today. Be the applaud that they deserve. Be the applaud for them to again rebuild their enthusiasm and keep trying and attempting furthermore. And while I'm talking of this entire session in the third person's view, where what you are doing, it is with purely the intention that what you do to the others is what is going to come back to you. I'm a strong believer in the idea of karma, where every time you do something, it is going to come back to you 10 times. So make sure what are you feeding to the world and how you're building the culture around yourself. So with that, I move to the next idea of how do we appreciate people? Vijay just mentioned, thank you, Bola. Someone else mentioned, you called back. Someone said, thank you. Like Uma ma'am talked about someone attempting table topics and they've applauded, and someone applauded Uma ma'am for giving innovative topics. Look at the idea of how you are applauding someone. Very often we hear the reality being someone is criticized in public, applauded in private. While the reality has to be something which is exactly the opposite of this. You don't want to be shamed in front of others for what is missing or what is wrong or what needs to be improved or what area is there which has to be worked upon. Why? That is how the reality is. You go and open any Twitter account today, you go and open any Facebook post of any personality I'm talking of, and there you will see the list of comments. Over 90% of them will be about what is bad about it. When someone has chatted something, some mistake, something wrong in a group, in a WhatsApp group, what do you do there? Serve your ego and reply there that this is wrong? Or select that message and choose reply privately and respond to them. That I feel you made a mistake over here, or this is wrong, or something like that. Share your opinion. Share a different perspective, but don't personalize it. When you respond, I'm especially saying when you're responding to someone, how often do you respond in the groups? How often do you respond while you are in a crowd with someone? How often do you sit and gossip about others? I haven't seen someone gossiping good about people. The gossips are always about critics. The gossips are always about that. So the idea is, how can someone make you feel special? For the ones who are there in this audience, for the ones who have been a part of our journey, there was this recent attempt from my end to make you all feel special with the gifts that you have got. The idea was,
I was about to say that.
The idea was, how do you say a thank you. And it's not about money. Please note, it is not about money, or it's not even about the gift or the value of a gift. The idea is, how do you show gratitude? Go ahead, Rabia.
The moment I received it, the moment I opened it, I felt myself to be like I'm Miss Universe. That is how it was the reaction of me. It was such a kind of appreciation. I can never forget it. It was the best of all. Thank you.
Why is it that you are receiving, or when was the last time you have gifted someone something? More importantly, something personalized. When was the last time you have got, or you have given, a handwritten letter or a thank you note or an appreciation to someone? WhatsApp पे तो सबको अभी मैं टाइप करना है तो अभी सबको भेज देता हूँ एक एक करके, thank you, it was good, it was good. More often than not, the word thank you is the most abused word, because it can mean anything. In this session right now, each one of you all have already used the word thank you. How many times? The point is, look at how you're personalizing the appreciation and you're specifically mentioning the appreciation. Here in the case of Vijaya, you have a beautiful smile. You have a good attitude. The way you told it to someone made an impact. When you see someone doing something, if you are specific and personalize the message, it is what hits the point. When you talk of an employee, if you're talking of whosoever mentioned about an employee, I like the way you responded quickly and found exactly who I was searching for. Good job. हो गया खत्म, appreciation खत्म हो गया. Well done. Go check out your mails and check out your WhatsApp right now. How many times have you just said thank you or well done or अच्छा है, okay? The online version of silence is okay, okay? Just to update you all on this. कोई भी कुछ भी बोलेगा okay, मतलब acknowledge तो करना पड़ता है ना. That is actually telling thank you, मुझे मेरा काम हो गया है, you have done it, thank you, very well done. But the word or the online version of silence is okay. And उसमें और shortcut करना है तो के डाल दो बस, ओ भी हटा दो, खा लो. Now, another task for you to realize, are you really appreciating someone, or is it just coming out as a habit? Look at what all chats you have had with people, or the mails that you have sent with people, or your interactions with people. How many times has a message, the exact same message, been sent to more than one person? It will talk about your style of appreciation where it is a commonality, rather than having someone talking to someone in a specific way and mentioning what did you like or what are you looking to appreciate. That is how you get into the real art of expression. Thank you, well done. 10 मैसेज ऐसा आते हैं, मधु ने भेजा करके कैसे पता चलेगा? When Madhu says, I really liked that you made an attempt to call back. I appreciate that you make an effort to stay in touch with friends. Thank you for calling back. And I'm not talking of wordplay over here, okay? It can be any language. I'm not talking of wordplay. It has to be such a long sentence. I'm talking of the expression being made specific and personalized. That is where Madhu, Vijaya, Uma, उनको पता चलता है कि मुझसे बोल रहे हैं, हर किसी को नहीं बोल रहे हैं. Vijaya, go ahead quickly.
I realized that in my business also, when I made the cookies, ना मैं free, मतलब थोड़ा ज़्यादा extra भी दे दे, 250 grams plus 50 grams, उनको matter नहीं करता. But I started sending notes, handwritten. I am writing, I am sending. with that box. And so many times I got the reply, we like the cookies also and we like the message also. So that's why we like you also. So many जो friends मतलब friends the customers जो रहती है ना मेरी, so most of the time they are lady, so they are saying me that only, that we like cookies, so it's secondary, but we like the message you are sending to us.
Interesting.
Yes, sir.
The idea is to personalize whatever applause that you have. When you personalize it, it doesn't seem generic and to whomsoever it may concern. Le lo bhai, leke jao apna appreciation. It has to be made personalized for it to be impactful and realized that there's an effort behind it. I could order on Amazon and put the addresses there. Why do I go about taking your name, taking or making that effort to design everything and then go about placing the order? Because what is going to come to you is going to be remaining a special one and it's going to stay there for long. Even the bottle without the detail could have worked out. But when you personalize it, it is what makes an impact. Now, another aspect of appreciation is, I've always felt this personally, is giving time. When you consciously make an attempt to give time to someone, because time is something which I believe each one of us right now, when you're coming here at 9 p.m. on a Saturday night, you're giving a part of you to the club and I'm giving a part of me to the club. And this time won't come back again. So when you're talking of appreciation, you can find out ways, as an example, having dinner, or keeping that phone at home and going out with your children. That's an act of appreciation in the way you are recognizing someone, recognizing the importance of someone and spending that time with them. It could be the effort that you're showing. It could be the personalized effort, like Vijay mentioned, taking the time to personally write down those notes is giving time to appreciate the receiver. Print करके ready रख सकती है ना, 500 copies ready है, जाएगा हर डब्बे में. But what makes it special is you are giving your time and people will appreciate that. A lot of my online social media channels and all those things, there are a lot of big personalities where they respond with their managers. They have their social media managers, social media handlers, they respond. But I personally have this habit where I'm interacting with whosoever is responding in the chats. As an example, yesterday's one of my video, which I posted about on Instagram yesterday, which had that background that you're seeing, the circle of library. The person who created that put a message in the Instagram post, sir, आपके पीछे जो background है ना, वो library bookshelf मैंने बनाया था. From the vendor who did the work for us, you can go and check out that comment. And I sent a personal message to him. ऐसी चीज बनाई है आपने जो आज की तारीख में लोग कई बार मुझे नहीं देखते, पीछे देखते हैं. Thank you. हो गया. Thank you निपट जाता था. But look at how the tonality changes. Look at how the personalization comes in. And it's not about someone who's there as at a credible position. You're talking of even the auto person who's coming to you, or the person, Swiggy delivery person who's coming to you. If he comes before time, why not use that chance to applaud the speed with which he's coming, the effort that he's taking to make sure that I'm getting it on time. Like Uma mentioned, why not applaud them? It's about who you are as an individual. Who you are as an individual and the way you're taking an effort to appreciate someone. That is what matters. Each one of you all can just unmute and share what are some innovative ways in which you can express to someone. What are the innovative techniques that you use for the benefit of everyone? Vijay just mentioned about the handwritten notes. How do you make someone else feel that they applauded, that they're appreciated? Akanksha, go ahead.
I'm not sure about real life because almost everything is right now is virtual. So I have this habit of sending a long message. Like it might be a little too much to read, but when you actually get a long message for something you've done, actually, the personalized appreciation post or huge, just make it huge, put all whatever you want, and that will be cherished by people. They're going to star that message, save it for later, probably read it when they're feeling low too. So I think that actually helps when it's in the virtual world.
Interesting, Akanksha. I see where you get this habit from, filling the answer paper with repeat of the same points 3-4 times. Thank you for that, Akanksha. Madhu, go ahead.
Yeah, I follow most of the time their unique skills. Whatever they they have unique, and which others not they have. For example, I can see someone every time without any delay, every time at least 1 or 2 minutes before they'll come to the office. No one else will come. So I always says always to know the time, we have to see this person. Such kind of unique skills, whatever they have, depends upon their event. So that I think that helps. Many times they feel like always you give genuine appreciations. That's a word I feel like that's one good. I think that's I follow.
Interesting. Thank you, Madhu, for that. Anyone else would like to share any ideas that you have experienced? Vijaya, go ahead.
A small gift, what other person needs, that means kaisa ki jaise my sister, someone is doing, not personal nahi bolte, so someone is like dancing, someone is doing kathak or like that thing, so we can give a small thing. Okay, so that is ghunguru. Simple. So it's a very simple thing, but that person, nobody else kya diya isne to ye de diya, but the person who is doing, who is dancing na, they will appreciate it so much. So personalized gift, वही वो चीज हुआ
based on the need.
हाँ, based on the need.
Interesting. Thank you, Vijaya, for that. Does your sister dance Kathak? You gifted her.
She is dancing from normally at home. She is dancing from last 25 years, but recently she because of she is in so much stress due to my mother thing. So that time I realized that she has to do something. Means I am writing, I am doing my business, I am having my motivation with me. For her, there should be some motivation, which means within a blink she can forget that thing. So I said that join a dance class, and it will open the door for your business also. And second thing is that you are learning, you are doing something which you rejoice. So she started dancing there, joined the institute, and in December when I went there, I feel that is missing. So I gifted her that ghungroos only. तो मैं उसको बाजार ले गई, and मैंने क्या, तो बोले where you are going? You please come with me. And मैंने वहाँ बोला कि that beetle दे दो मुझे, वो दे दो, beads दे दो. तो बोले ये लेने के लिए मुझे बुलाया. And she just started crying there, and she is saying that it's the best gift. मतलब she only understands that what is that thing.
Thank you, Vijaya, for sharing that. It talks about how it's not about the value or the money that you're investing or the kind of public perception of what it is. It's not the value of you gifting someone or you appreciating someone with a 7-star hotel resort or dinner or something which is very costly. It's the emotion which goes into it, and more importantly, the other person, you knowing that this is what the other person would love. I remember another instance where a bride was going to purchase her marriage saree, and she was given an offer to purchase anything up to the budget of 1 lakh. But what connected with her was her mother giving her grandmother's saree to her to wear for the marriage. Old, rugged saree. But the value of that is what made it personal. And that is where the value was much, much more than the 1 lakh rupees that we are talking of. Dinesha, go ahead. After that, Mohan.
So there are two things I want to mention. It is a 6th year running my marriage. There were around 6,000 people came to my marriage. All were presented gift. but only one my colleague presented clock, which is special, which is made by wooden. It is always, it is there from past 6 years in my, I've shifted 3 houses, rented house. I've carried in all the places. That was like long lasting appreciation for me. And the second gift you have sent recently with personalized that says, Dinesh, you are special. I myself, after whenever I put it on the television top of that, every day we sit, watch programs. Always it will be visible. Okay. You are become my family member.
Okay. Thank you, Dinesh, for that. Mohan, go ahead.
Hi. Actually, it's not about me, but like it's my wife who does this all the time. Whenever she goes to her hometown, so she writes something in my diary, like put a note in it, that like some issue note or some appreciating note kind of the kind of thing. And after reaching home, she will ask me to just take out and read it. So that actually make me feel very special, and that is yeah.
Interesting. I have this similar activity which is done by Pragya actually with our son. Our son has gone to the physical school for the last 2 years only for 1 month, which began before the third wave started, and they stopped after that. And she does that in the carriage. She puts a small note, and almost after 12th day or 13th day, when one day Pragya missed out on putting the note, son came back and asked, Mama, I lost that note somewhere. I don't know where it is. I could not find it in the bag today.
Yes.
Look at the personalization that you can do and the impact it creates. Wonderful idea, Mohan, there. So another aspect which I've seen working out is to start journaling and to make a conscious effort as a ritual in your life. Look at one time, one day, one event that you are doing or whatever you're doing. Like you do the diya in your temple in the morning, or you go to office at 9 o'clock, or you pick up the bus, or however you're doing, whatever things that you do as a brushing as an example in the day. Like those activities, find one moment of a day where you are consciously looking at, appreciating or applauding what you are blessed with. That is what will start the ripple of you trying to search for the good. You trying to search for the good in every place that you are. More importantly, not just having the eye for good, it's having the lip for the good. That is important. Eye for good. I've seen a lot of people calm, composed, having full of gratitude. But it's like being blessed with a gift, but not opening it. Make this a ritual for 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 1 minute. If you want to begin with this, today every day I'll call one person from my contact list and say what is good in him, what I remember about him, what I like about him. Please don't do a broadcast message, please. Make it personalized. Just that, or maybe just to not have it look like a sudden out of the blue what happened. You can just connect something that today I was seeing this cricket match and I remembered how we used to enjoy playing cricket. I still remember those days. I really appreciate how you supported me, or you helped me, or you stood for me, or something, that whatever you're looking to appreciate. Use a connector. Otherwise, suddenly, isko paise chahiye pakka. Isko kuch to chahiye. Kuch to yaad aaya, main kuch to chahiye mere se isko. That is a question that will surely come up. So make sure, whatever format that you want to, however you want to execute that, take 5 minutes in a day. Like you have a journal for writing good, take 5 minutes to express the applaud for someone in your life. Choose 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever you want to, depending on the time, or give a bonus on Sunday. However you want to do, find a moment and make it a ritual so that your life will be blessed with positivity, with someone else being blessed for being appreciated the good in them. So see, however you are doing, we have talked about how can we appreciate. Again, we also saw Mohan talking about liking or commenting. Understand what is it that the person and the way you can support someone. Today, when I mentioned that would be great if you can follow on Instagram, YouTube, like I mentioned to you all in the start of the year, that for 2022, my target is to go high and scale up living life in the social media space. Your kind of appreciation can be from the support, just a comment, just a liking the page, liking a post. You see how many times have you gone on Instagram and suddenly seen, okay, this post has 1 million likes. देखना पड़ेगा. होता कुछ भी नहीं है. 1 million likes. But the point is, somewhere there would be a community. I know there's a lot of fake part over here also with regard to bots and technology and how it is abused. But the idea is, if you're looking to reach out to further, you can also look at how you're supporting. I've had this project. I called it as a project Uplift. If someone is there on my personal Instagram or personal Facebook page, you would have seen there's a friend of mine who started Panchkattu Dosa in Hyderabad. It's a chain of innovative Rayalaseema dosas. There's a friend who has opened a coffee shop in somewhere. There's a friend who's opened a kachori club somewhere in high-tech city. If you cannot do anything, help them in scaling up in what they're doing. That is also a form of appreciation. You go ahead and upload and share so many Instagram videos about some personalities who are living somewhere out there. And when it comes to your friends, what do? Find the ways in which they can be uplifted. And the same will happen to you. Finally, I come to the last point where I'm talking about whom. Whom do you? Yes, Uma ma'am, go ahead first.
Yeah, for example, you wanted us to put it on our WhatsApp status, the living life poster today. So I felt nice putting it in my status, and I feel good inviting people to living life. So
now, as an example, I'm not challenging others, but think of it. How many of you all saw the post, saw my request in the club, in the group, and how many actually shared the poster? I'm not challenging anyone. I know the people who have done it. I know I've seen that of who all have done. I'm not challenging you, but we have been meeting for so often for the last so many weeks now. And if you still don't do or don't support, don't applaud, look at what is operating in your mind. Understand? I'm not saying you don't appreciate it. I'm nowhere saying you don't appreciate it. You all are here because you appreciate the fact and you are spending this time over here. But the fact is, look at your expression of that appreciation. Not just me, I'm not talking about me. Look at any of your friends who's into any business, doing anything which requires support in at least the reaching out part of it, the marketing part of it. Look at how you can support them. I'm not talking about me over here. I'm just talking of reflecting on you appreciating someone and yet not having an expression of it. Think of that. Dinesha, go ahead.
Sir, actually it is true. After reading your WhatsApp message, my mind was thinking whether to put it in the status or not. Then I come to a conclusion, I have to put it. But it's worth spending. They will also learn and grow. That is a final decision I taken and I put it. There are two person personally called me to share the request, login this one. Again I shared, but I was looking in the beginning whether they will join or not join.
The challenge is for someone who's a beginner or someone who's in the process of it. When the message reaches to 100 people, one person reaches over here. I, as an individual, can reach out to only as many people based on my network. When I'm asking you all to share it, the idea is if you appreciate and find a value being over here, why not spread? Why not support in building this? I'm not challenging anyone. I'm just talking of the idea of how we have the appreciation, but we do not have the expression. That becomes the challenge. Let's move to the next and last point. Whom do you clap for? When we clap for our friends, they find an ulterior motive in it. कुछ तो है इसमें, कुछ तो गड़बड़ है, कुछ तो चाहिए. That is a natural part of an extension of how we are looking at it. And that's where I mentioned where I shared these initiatives by my friends without any paid partnership or marketing or Google or promotion for something like that. We look at it with the idea of appreciating and expanding and helping them in whatever they are doing. Today, when I posted a few of these posts, which I talked about Kachori Club in High-Tech City, I had a few of my friends reaching out to me. Can you share me the maps location of it? I shared the location to them and it helped my friend. That is a kind of appreciation for the work that he's doing. That's the hard work that he's putting in. That is my way of telling, well done. Let me be a part of your journey, not in the profits, but in the part of helping you grow. Look at how what we are doing has a potential to applaud someone who's finding it or struggling to get the sales. Your small effort by putting it in your status or putting it in or sharing a Facebook post can help them as much as you would want it. Ask yourself, if you are doing something, how much ever effort that you are doing, how often has it been that you have done something for else? I want everyone to do something for me. But if I haven't done anything for anybody, how will I expect that? How will I expect them to reciprocate? That has to happen first by you. And then you can expect others to do. Today we are talking of 89th session. I'm giving in mind, not with the return of expecting something in the return, but the idea is I have been giving. And that is where you all are bonded with me now. You all are connected with me today. We have a kind of a very family-like relationship, and that is what makes it work. So you understand how much have you to give first, and then you can start expecting the return. Give first, and then the return follows. You can't be having a credit card where you draw first and then pay return. Life isn't a credit card, it's a debit card. First you have to put in, and then you get what you want of what you have put in the first place. So yes, look at applauding and having this attitude of appreciation, not just for friends or someone who we are talking of, someone known, even strangers. If you build this attitude of appreciating people, you would see that you will be grateful and thankful for everyone. That delivery person who's coming in, Swiggy, the auto person from whose auto you're getting down, the policeman who's managing the traffic. You will start experiencing this form of expression that you are obliged to. And I'm not talking of being kind. Kindness is without someone having to do something. You be kind for anyone. But here I'm talking of using the form of expression of attitude of expression for the ones who deserve it. Who deserve for doing what they have been doing and the way they have been doing it. Vijaya, go ahead. Mute.
I'm audible?
Yes, quick.
The thing is that when I started appreciating others, so few years back, my relatives only not appreciating me, what I am doing. I'm audible?
Yeah.
So that time I started appreciating other person. Now also they are not appreciating relatives, but other people, those who are not, मतलब कोई relation नहीं है, we are just known people, and they start appreciating us. So you said right that if you are appreciating, you will get appreciation from anywhere.
Exactly. Thank you, Vijaya, for sharing that. The very idea is what we are saying. When someone knows us, this is actually the first place when we call someone friends, family. This is the first place that needs to be the source to begin. But the reality is far from it. The reality is that the first support, the first encouragement that we get is from strangers. Someone who doesn't know us will trust us with their money. And the one who is family, who is friends, will always be asking, thoda discount mil sakta hai? Thoda zyada. Look at how you are pushing. You're pushing the world of expression outside there, and you will find reciprocation from the world. Just as Vijaya mentioned, I have also had this world. I am the family that I live in, the kind of people that I'm surrounded with. Not always do I have the support or the appreciation for what I am or how I do my work. More so, I've always had these questions. क्यों कर रहे हो यार? Business से focus करो ना. इस Saturday night को हर रोज बैठ जाते हो. Preparation के लिए रात को 2 बजे बैठ जाते हो. क्यों कर रहे हो? These are questions that I face. But on the contrary, मुझे लगता है कि नहीं प्रिपेयर करूंगा तो कोई और सेशन लेगा और उसमें भी आकांक्षा आ जाएगी और मैं नहीं आऊंगा तो उसका एक सेशन का एग्जाम एक्स्ट्रा हो जाएगा. ऑडी में उसके पीछे हूं, मैं दौड़ रहा हूं कि कब छोड़ेगी ये, एक दिन छोड़ेगी तो मैं नेक्स्ट सेशन में मैं इसके पास आऊंगा. She's at 88. I think to what I know, I'm at 84 or 85. I've missed 4 to 5 sessions of Speak Up Club. मैं सोच रहा हूँ कब छोड़ेगी यार, एटलीस्ट 100 तक तो कवर अप करूंगा. ये वही है, अपने क्लास में टॉपर होता है ना, वैसी हालत है मेरी. मैं सेकंड हूँ, टॉपर गलती करेगा तो मैं आगे जाऊंगा.
She is a topper also.
Doesn't matter. All that matters to me is in Speak Up Club, she's ahead of me. So the point that I'm mentioning is, look at appreciating. And finally, the last point which I wanted to mention over here is, the world is a cruel place. The world is bad. The world is toxic. For that one reason, you have to be the applaud for yourself. You have to be the applaud for yourself. You have struggled, you have fought it out, you have had so many battles where you have survived, you have aced, you have struggled, you have cried, you have done everything. Learn to appreciate yourself. This is the last person that we appreciate for the efforts that they put, for the pains that you're taking. And yet, every time you think the person in the mirror is ordinary, the person is just surviving, the person is just doing the things which the world does, and there's little appreciation for who you are. When is the last time you applauded yourself? You celebrated a milestone that you have accomplished for yourself. Each one of us have had battles that we have fought that nobody else knows. Are you grateful to yourself? I want you to reflect on that. Do you feel the pride for what journey you have taken and the things that you have done? And still joining us on Saturday nights at 9 p.m. Smiling here despite the pain in your mind, the doubts in your mind, the things that you're going through. Applaud yourself. This is the person who deserves it the most than anyone else in the world. Because not everyone knows your journey better than who you know. For whatever struggles that you have had, whatever things that you have gone through and still survived, one loss, whatever be it. You're here, it means that you have had a journey. Take a moment to pat your back, and with that, I come towards a close and we'll share a few thoughts, closing thoughts on this idea before we close the session. The entire spirit of this session, clap, clap, was simple, is to build that skill to appreciate, not just feeling of gratitude or having a sense of feeling within yourself, but putting it out. The world is cruel, like I mentioned. The world is full of critics. The world is full of toxicity and negativity. What are you doing? Even by being silent, what are you adding to? Is a question that you should be answering. And like we have had instances from everyone, we never know who is getting a ray of hope, who is getting a chance, who is getting a feeling, a motivation, a recognition, acknowledgement for what they're doing with one simple word from you, one simple pat from you. Today, Vijaya talks about 15 years ago, I said, you have a wonderful smile. Look at the power of appreciation. Look at the impact that it has. And you'd realize you are powerful. You are powerful and you have an opportunity to make an impact to someone in this life. And that is possible with the way you express and put it across to the world, and not just limiting, obviously, like I mentioned, not just to the what you're putting into the world, but also put it to that mirror that you're standing in front of. Be kind, appreciate who they are. The final pointers that I wanted to share. The first clap, the first one to appreciate will always be remembered. You'll remember who that teacher was, who that boss was, who that person in your life was, who was there to support you, who was there to encourage you, who had those kind words for you. Ask yourself, are you that one person for someone? Give, applaud. It costs nothing. We have talked of ways in which you can do. It only requires the power of thinking on how you want to applaud. You're not talking of transferring a bank account. You're talking of applauding and appreciating, and that impacts people. It got to be you first. Life is not a credit card, it's a debit card where you have to do and deliver, invest, give first for you to eventually get it back. But don't do it with an idea to get back. Don't do it with the idea that I want, so I'm giving. Give because it is the right thing to do. It is the right thing to do, and so give. People might find you manipulative at the beginning. Suddenly, isko kya ho gaya hai? Itna zyada thank you kyun bol raha hai? Kuch to chahiye. Kuch to gadbad hai. People will always doubt you. Just keep persisting still. Do not let the doubts creep into you. An interesting thing happened while I was looking at this gifting idea. When I started to collect the addresses, one person called back. I don't want to name anyone. One person called back, आप ये address pin code के साथ क्यों collect कर रहे हो? मेरा number कहीं देने तो नहीं वाले हो? The idea is right. I don't deny. Everyone will have their doubts based on their experience and challenges, what they've gone through or what they've experienced in the past. But the idea is still give. People will doubt you, still give. Don't take for granted the people that are surrounding you, because these are the ones who are the first scapegoats of you expecting the ordinary, and that is normal. Appreciate the ones you're surrounded with. They deserve it the most, because they're the ones who are silently and day in and day out serving you, doing and keeping the world around you normal so that you can do what you want to do. And finally, I've always told people about the mental challenges people have. And I feel a person who is acknowledged, who is appreciated, can be saved from going to the graveyard. A person who feels good about himself, that he's acknowledged, he's appreciated, he's valued by people around them, can be saved. I've told this about people committing suicide and then someone, not about just suicide, people expiring and then someone going in telling, he was such a good person, he was this, he was that, he was such a wonderful person, he did so much for me, I feel so grateful for him. If only you could say this to him and not to his body, there could possibly be life still in that body. We are parched with thirst for appreciation. Everyone, whatever be the scale of individuals. I feel happy when I get an appreciation from someone. I have a folder where I've kept screenshots, over 500 of them, of the people who have appreciated me for what I do. And every time I'm low, I go to that folder and reassure myself of what I mean and what significance I have in people's life. Thanks to people, thanks to the people that I'm surrounded with who make me feel so. And that is what reassures me to be that person in someone's life, because that gives hope. That gives hope to people that I am worthy, that I am looked up to, I am waited for, I'm appreciated. I am something in this world. Don't wait for funerals to express. Do it now. With that, we come to an end for today's session. And I hope you all had an idea of what we mean when we say build the attitude of expression. Clap, clap. I know it's already late today. I would leave it for any feedback from your end, anything that you want to share before we close the session the usual way.
As everyone talked about, appreciation and all those things. Even people says that if you don't know the person, from long time, but the first time or second time, if you call him with his name, he feel very happy. That's also one thing, okay, I don't know him probably, but even though he recognized me and he remember my name, that's also make people happy. So indeed. I feel like so all the tips right now, whatever we learned today, it's many of them we know, but we don't follow most of the time. But definitely whenever we follow, just definitely that makes our day very happy, even others' day also.
No, I'm really grateful, and I'm really hats off to you. So the way you are expressing and giving knowledge is unbelievable. The people said, what you have, you will give. If you don't have anything, you can't give anything, So you have, I don't know, means it's unbelievable, means Pradnya is so lucky, So I can say, So thank you so much.
I'm going to use this. I'm going to use this for sure with Pragya over the next 1 to 2 months, so that thoda usko lage she's lucky. Thank you, Dr. Ashmi. Appreciate you joining us from London. I believe it's already 6 p.m. now.
Now it is 5 o'clock.
Yeah, okay, the daylight saving. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Akanksha, go ahead.
First of all, here's a question, sir. So you mentioned all the ways we can appreciate other people, but could you also say a little about how do we appreciate ourselves and accept the appreciation that we are getting, to believe it is true and that we actually deserve what we are getting?
Next week बताता हूँ. एक week दूसरों को appreciate करो, फिर जवाब मिलेगा. But the idea is simple. Accepting sometimes, like I mentioned, you don't have to be successful. The entire pointers that we mentioned are the same which apply to yourself. You don't have to achieve the best marks or achieve or accomplish an award in the office to tell that you are good. Appreciate the ordinary. You surviving and delivering on day in and day out of what is required for you, your family, for whatever you're doing. You achieving that. You have to have that belief that you are doing something. Give yourself a break. Even in failures, like we mentioned about others, it's the same with ourselves. Even if you're not getting the results that you aspire for, look at how you are making the effort. You're giving in all to what you're doing. Forget about the world. That's the reason I said you might not have people surrounding you who will tell you that you did this well, you tried well, you are okay, you did well, you tried well and all. You should know and feel for yourself. It is a world internally that we're talking of. Constantly, the talk that you have internally, the self-talk which you're talking of, you tried. You tried and did all you could. Is a reassurance that you're giving to yourself and giving yourself a pat. The world doesn't have to give that. So all the things that we said, While expressing, maybe take a note. If that works for you, take a journal. Write for yourself that I did this today and I'm proud that I did it. That's a kind of reassurance to yourself to continue doing that, because you're feeling proud for who you are. You're feeling proud that you failed, but because you tried. It's a technique in which you can work around applauding yourself, appreciating who you are and what you're doing. Accepting your flaws is also a kind of appreciation. Nobody is perfect. We keep telling this, we keep telling to others, be kind, take care, this is okay, this is normal. Why don't you tell that to yourself? These are forms in which you can start to work on building your internal space to feel good and appreciated for yourself. I hope that answers you, Akanksha. Nahi hai to bhi kuch mat bolna. Bye.
Akanksha, you can think over once, like I want to add a little about it.
Go ahead, Rabia, quick.
Thank you. Yeah. Just think that when you are self-satisfied, that means you are appreciated for your own self. When you get that kind of content, that okay, just introspect yourself. मैंने कुछ गलत नहीं किया है, तो फिर आपने कोई गलती नहीं की है, उसमें आपकी कोई गलती नहीं है. So you should feel yourself proud of it, that lucky you have your appreciation for your own self. What you're doing is the right job you're doing. Just don't think about the results. It will come automatically. You keep doing your right work at the right time. That's enough for you. That is the real appreciation. Thank you.
Interesting, Rabia. वो तो खुशी है, वो तो अपने माँ एग्जाम से सबको छोड़ के खुश है, उसकी माँ पीछे पड़ी हुई है. Dinesha, go ahead.
Sir, we have Mr. Veeresh sir is joined. I appreciate because having a family, having a lot of responsibility. He will handle around 10 branches, microfinance branches. Even though he will be having so much responsibility, he joined. We spent only full 1 day. We could able to build a very good rapport. Because of the 1 day, he is here now. I want to appreciate Veeresh sir for joining this one. And second thing, life is like a debit card, not the credit card. I connected this word. We start depositing from now onwards. At the same time, I appreciate my wife. She's still not completed her dinner. She's waiting for me.
Interesting. But tell this again, one point of which I missed. Tell this to her.
She's listening. She's sitting next to me.
The wonderful thing is, we often go and tell, I love my mom on this day, Valentine Day, I love my wife. माँ Facebook पे है ही नहीं. उधर appreciate करो. माँ Facebook पे नहीं है, माँ सामने बैठी है, उधर बोलो. Remember the difference between you wanting the credit for appreciation or wanting the applaud that you have done something good and not doing it with the spirit which it is required to be done. Thank you. Thank you, Dinesha. And thank you, Dinesha, for welcoming Veeresha. Happy to have you here. Hope you, sorry we could not interact, but hope you have found value in the session today.
Yes, sir. Definitely today is, I have learning so many things, sir. And I thank for Mr. Dinesh, sir. Actually, I saw his WhatsApp status. Then only I am asking him, please share my link. That's why I'm joining.
Thank you.
Thing, sir.
Thank you, Dinesha. And thank you, Dinesha. See the effect of what we did.
Yes.
Today, we are not just a part of this family. Today, with you extending it to someone, he's become a part of the family. And I'm gratitude to you for doing that. Thank you. Thank you with that. Vijaya, go ahead, quick.
One last thing I want to say, that appreciating ourselves is like, if you like to eat something, sometimes without family you can eat ice cream also, and it is also appreciation. And sometimes what I am doing now, I am just doing shopping. बैठती हूँ, खुद को gift दे देती हूँ. Teddy bear I bought for myself. So it's like that.
Interesting.
This thing also we can do.
हाँ, ये करना चाहिए. मतलब यही सेम लॉजिक मैं जब दिखा रहा था, मेरा बेटा आके बोला मेरे को आइसक्रीम खानी है, मेरे को खाने दो, आई एम अप्रिशिएटिंग माई सेल्फ. बीवी मेरा कार्ड लेके शॉपिंग के लिए चली गई, लेट मी अप्रिशिएट माई सेल्फ, और 50,000 का बिल आ गया. प्रॉब्लम वही है. ऐसे भी appreciation होता है जो digest नहीं होता है.
नहीं.
Rashmi, go ahead.
Yeah, but just now Vijaya mentioned I like to eat ice cream or something. This is appreciation, but other way around, it is a sign of stress also. So you are fulfilling your things, some like for food and all. So what just now Pradnya said, satisfaction, that is the best way. But if you are going for shopping, if you are going eating ice cream, this is the stress factor.
Vijaya, दोनों perspective है. She's a doctor, तो उस हिसाब से आ रहा है. Your perspective is based on the idea that you should, if you're achieving, put these as targets. Put these as targets. कि अगर मैं आज इतना achieve कर पाई, pat on my back with an ice cream at night.
Yeah,
that's also there. So we are talking of two different things. Dr. Rashmi is also right कि अगर आपको बहुत इच्छा हो रही है तो तबीयत खराब है, चेक कर लो पहले, उस हिसाब से मैनेज करेंगे. So let's deal with that. Mohan, go ahead.
फिर तो सर पूरी फैमिली के साथ खाऊंगी मैं तो. जब स्ट्रेस होता ना, सबको स्ट्रेस देने का, सब साथ में मिलके खाने का.
मेरे तो बीवी को डायबिटीज होगा तो मैं पक्का उसको बिठा के खिलाऊंगा, पक्का. Go ahead, Mohan.
Sir, like this is in continuation to what Akanksha had mentioned. How do we take appreciation, or like how do we know whether the appreciation is true or not? Personally, what I do is, if somebody appreciate me, I don't actually take it to my head. I just take it to my heart. I feel happy about it, and I just take it to motivate myself. That's it. And at the same time, if somebody criticizes me, I don't take it to my heart. I'll take it to my head, and I'll just work on it, and again I'll take it to motivate myself. Yeah, that's
an interesting perspective of where you're hitting it.
Yes.
Always remember, again, we did this in the riding the emotions session, where sometimes the external appreciation which is coming could be manipulative in nature. And so please be wary of how you're being appreciated and why you're being appreciated. Keep a little bit of a subjectivity and objectivity balance between what is coming through to you. So please make sure you're taking care of how you are taking in the appreciation, while equally, I won't say it's absolutely possible for us to demarcate that अच्छा आ रहा है तब मैं दिल पे ले रहा हूँ, खराब आ रहा है तब मैं दिमाग पे ले रहा हूँ. If you're taking something good to your heart, I'm sure it will also have an effect when the negatives come, and that is also taken to heart. The idea is having a subjective kind of objective assessment कि किस लिए हो रहा है. And many a times I've had this, I don't deserve this, ये हो क्यों रहा है, मतलब ये बोल रहा है अच्छा है, but that is because your own self expectation of what you are and how much you appreciate yourself is a question mark. Let whatever is coming in soak in, let it be, and that is how you can actually build this entire space around you, and more importantly the space inside you, to be positive in an environment where things will become possible for you. Because it's life, it's short, and all you have is now, and how you're living it now is a choice that you're making. Be in control of that. Rest all will fall in place by themselves. With that, I would like to say thank you everyone for the session today. Wonderful inputs. Furkan, you want to share something? Okay, thank you. I know it's very late today, but I believe the topic was so which engaged each one of us into this wonderful conversation, wonderful perspectives that we have got about different ideas that we discussed today. Thank you everyone for sharing all those ideas. And I'll close the session and we'll stay back after the recording stops if anyone is still interested and doesn't want to change the day from Saturday to Sunday. And let me close the usual way first. Saturday nights have never been this beautiful for the last 89 Saturday nights now. It's been an honor to be sharing our perspectives, listening to your perspectives, and gaining new perspectives. Thank you for the love that you keep coming back every Saturday night and adding life to our lives and to every member of the club. Thank you. See you all next Saturday night at 9 p.m. again. Good night, everyone.
Thank you. Good night.